It is Bravo Foxtrot 1 coming to you with another special video. This channel is usually about motorbikes and getting out there and having fun, but it includes various other different things. As you can see throughout the channel, I have released videos of other different things that I find interesting. And recently I came across these Nitro RC cars, and I thought it would be quite a nice project to actually purchase one of the cheap Chinese brands and actually just work on it, make it strong, do it up. And this might interest some of you, it might interest someone else who stumbles across this channel. But right in front of me I've got a HSP Nitro 1:8 scale, and it's a high performance 4WD car. And over the course of the next few days I'm actually gonna embark on modifying this. The first mod I'm going to do is actually fix the petrol tank. So when I purchased this RC car, I made a mistake. I didn't look through everything that is set up in the car, and that created a bit of a problem because basically the engine was actually set a bit wrong. The exhaust wasn't even clipped on properly, it wasn't fitted properly, it was just fitted all fast, and the engine was a bit too forward. And that caused a bit of a problem when I started it. I finally got it to start, it heated up, and as you can see over there, it melted the tank. And there's a piece right in front of the engine over there. It was basically touching on the tank, it melted it, and all the nitro fluid leaked out. I'll show you what I do all the steps of the way. I've already done half of this, so in terms of taking it out, so showing you in terms of putting back the new one, which I've got over here. I'll also show you how to do that. But okay, so we've got the new tank fitted in. I replaced it, and this time around I'm very careful in terms of that spacing. If I can just give you a good shot of that. So you see it's very close. The tip of the cogwheel over there, the screw, is very close to the tank. And previously I had not noticed that it was so close it was actually touching the tank, and that caused the damage that I faced over there. So if you don't want to go out and have to buy a new tank, then take note of that. You might just have to adjust the positioning of the engine, move it slightly back, but make sure that the cogwheels are still making contact. So I've rerouted these pipes also, so that previously it was actually resting on the exhaust, and that would get quite hot. Now there's a slight space just so that it can actually fit nicely, and I've routed it round so that there's no slack touching the hot parts of the car. And I left this piece out over here basically so that it can breathe, let this one go there. It's being held on this side, so I don't see the point of it being held over here. It's not disturbing anything. These parts, it's really just resting over there. It's not really interfering with them going back or front. That's the emergency braking system and basically the failsafe. So that's in place. Next up, we're gonna change this servo. It's a 15 kg servo, but it's advised to actually change it to a 20 to 25 kg, and I've got one of those over here. As you can see, it's a 22 to 25 kg servo, so we're going to put this in and it's going to replace that. It is also waterproof, so hopefully all goes well. That's the old servo that you can see over there, and that's a 15 kg, and I'm changing it to this one, a 25 kg servo. It's also waterproof, and apparently this one's much faster in terms of its responsiveness. So we're gonna just take out the other one, unplug it, and then we'll plug this one in. Currently this is the receiver in the vehicle, and basically this first connection over here is the turning servo over there. The second connection seems to be the servo for the accelerator and braking. That one's good enough, we're not going to change that out. And then the third connector seems to be the battery connection, so we're going to replace this. We're going to put a new one in. So I'm most probably going to start with this servo over here, put the new one in, get it fitted, and then last stop we're going to replace this, because we're replacing this cheap low quality control that came with it, and we've got a really nice one, and you'll see even as we get to that step. that is the old servo. It has been taken out. It wasn't so strong, and sometimes you would find when you go very fast with the RC, it doesn't turn in time or it doesn't get there. The new servo is in, and I've straightened up the wheels, got it nice and straight, and if I can just show you quickly, very responsive, working well. And basically I've just balanced it over there, and I'm going to set the whole suspension after I finish this. So that's the new servo, it's in. My particular car came missing a screw over there, so I'm going to fit the screw from the pack that came with this servo, and it should be somewhere in there. As we can see, I'll fit that in and should be good. We've got the new servo in, it's working well, everything is tuned in, everything is set. Now we're going to work on changing this remote. I don't like this cheap quality remote. It doesn't even have a LED screen or something, and you can only pair one card to it. It's basically tied to this car. So we're going to change this receiver over here. I got a new remote, and it comes with a receiver. So that's going to be up next. So this servo is changed. It's working really well, working much better than the one that was in there, and it's got some good power in terms of turning. So we're going to change that, and then we're going to check that all the bolts are tight, fit back this assembly over here, and when I put these two screws over here, I'm going to put some Loctite. I noticed they were quite tight initially when taking them out, so we'll make them tight when putting them back in. I've got this new remote control. This is much better, much more quality. It's a FlySky GT3C FS GT3C, and it comes with a free receiver in it, and I've also bought an extra one for my second RC. I've got a Mars X as my second RC, and that one's quite fast. It goes up to 90-100 kilometers per hour plus minus, and this remote is going to control both of them. So I'm actually gonna replace this receiver right now with the one that comes free inside the box. So let's go there, let's see what's in this box. So as you take out the contents from the box, you get this plastic cover, and then you've got the manual over here, FlySky digital proportional radio control system. Apparently it hops between frequencies to ensure the best signal. This seems to be the charging system for this remote, and it's also got a spare rubber handle, which is quite nice, quite neat. And inside the package is the new receiver. There we go. That's going to replace this small piece over here, and this is rechargeable, so I like that also. It's a nice rechargeable system, and it's much more quality. So we've got this small receiver over here, and I hope this is a 3-channel. Yeah, this is going to replace the one that actually came there, and it seems to have a better antenna, looks a bit more quality, or it's just got some nice thick cover over it, so that's quite nice. There's the battery for the rechargeable battery for the remote control, and let's look at the remote control itself. It seems to be much more quality. It's got a fold down transmitter or aerial, and very nice. It just feels quality, you know, as you hold it, as you pull the buttons. It's got this LCD screen on top, and as I said, it's got a fold down aerial. So if I put this up, this is how it will look. I'm gonna push that up. Okay, there we go. It clicks into place, and it's got a nice foam cover on the wheel, which is quite nice. And yeah, it's got some buttons here. We need to figure out how this works, so we'll go through all the instructions and everything, and I'll show you what I've done. So I've basically powered it on. The power button is on the wheel over there, and this is quite nice. I like this. I like having the screen. It's got a light, so if you're playing outside at night, then it works. Finished my install. I actually put my new receiver in. I received a receiver with this transmitter already programmed, already bound to it. I've got a second one for my second RC car, which I'll set on channel 2, but I just wanted to show you something quickly. If you want to bind a new receiver to your already working remote like this one, all you do is you take this wire that came with the receiver, and this is very important, both pieces, this and also the wire itself, you plug it in on channel 3, basically over there, you get it in, and you plug in the power and you turn on the car, and you'll see the light blinking, the LED. And basically you come to your remote, you hold down the button bind, hold it down, and then press on. And then you look back over here on the transmitter, you'll see that light will go red. The next step over here is you basically go to your car and you turn it off first before turning off the transmitter. Then you turn off the transmitter second, and it should be paired. Then you can actually take off this connection, and then you can switch on your car, switch on your transmitter, and it should have a solid light. Now to do the failsafe, basically what you'll have to do is you want it to brake when you lose signal, so that your car doesn't run away. You don't want it to accelerate or do something random, which it could. On this remote, one thing I noticed is, or this transmitter, one thing I noticed is when I got it and when I connected it in, the throttle and the braking was reversed. So if your failsafe isn't set right and that isn't set right, then you'll have a bit of an issue, and the moment you lose signal, your car is going to run away, and that's a very dangerous situation. So basically what you do is you push the brake button, keep it held in, and then you take this plastic stick thing and you push it in and you press that button until it starts flashing, and keep that button pressed in until the light becomes solid. Then you can release, and then you can try switch off your remote and your failsafe should kick in, which is your brakes. So basically I'll just give you a bit of a demo that everything is working. Let's turn the car on. Okay, it's on. As you can see, the failsafe kicked in the moment I turned it on. Now I'm going to turn on the remote, and you see the failsafe goes off. Now in terms of reversing it, I was having an issue. When I would press the accelerator, that's basically pulling it back, it's supposed to go how it's working now, but it was rather putting brake. And when I was putting brake, it was actually, so when I was putting it forward, it was actually putting accelerator. So I had to reverse the inputs over there. Basically all I did was I came here, I pressed enter, and I scrolled through all the way to reverse. Enter, I left channel 1 as normal. That's basically the turning left or right. It seems to have been working. So I turn this way, it's turning this way. Turn that way, it's turning that way, which is fine. I'm comfortable with that. Now I scrolled through to channel 2 and I noticed that it was on normal, and whenever I would pull the accelerator in, it would put brakes. Whenever I would put brakes, it would push the accelerator in full. So basically all I did was I pressed end, and you can see this function starts blinking, and you can actually scroll through on normal and on REV. So after that, after you select REV, you just press enter once again, and that should be set right. And as I press accelerator, try and get it all on the same screen, you can see it's accelerating over there. As I press brake, now it's braking. And that's basically it. These are basically all the mods for this car for now. We're waiting for some parts to arrive. I actually want to redo the plastics at the front. I want to actually change these swing arms at the front here. And if you can see them, I'm going to change these to a bit more harder substance, but preferably aluminium, because in the places I've been driving this little car, there's a lot of stones and it hits things, and you know, there's always the fear that it's going to break and then I have to replace that part. And I personally just prefer to have aluminium on them. So that's basically it for these upgrades. And yeah, I'll most probably be back at a later stage if I do some more upgrades on this car. But for now, that's it. Have a great day. Have a great time wherever you're watching this. Hope you have a good time with your RC car, whether it's nitro or electric. I will have a brushless car linking with this transmitter. I will make a video for that so that you can see I've got a really fast brushless RC car, and that one's quite cool. But I've been so glued onto this one because it's got a little engine, and I'm really keen on that kind of stuff. As you know from this channel, there's a lot of motorbikes, there's a lot of fixing, and we like to work with engines and stuff. But you know, once in a while we break away and we do a bit of fun stuff. So yeah, that's it for this video. Remember, subscribe, like, share, and have a good one.